Dobry den,
Здравейте!
and welcome back to our little Bulgarian adventure.
Yes, welcome back to chilly Bulgaria.
It is cold, really cold.
We were lulled into a false sense of security by January, being warm.
Yes.
February's come along and it's gone, no, you're not having any heat at all. So I think our highest temperature in the coming week is 2 degrees.
Yes, -7 I think we get down to, something like that.
So not as cold as it has been in the past, but cold.
Cold, yeah. Pechka's going on a lot earlier these days.
Luckily, we've got enough wood.
And you've been doing a bit more of that this week.
Yes, I have. I've started on the smaller logs. Now, for those of you who enjoy the wood sections of the video,
Nikki,
you know who you are. This is us doing the smaller sticks. Last week I showed you me cutting up the bigger stuff. This week I thought I'd better just complete the picture by showing me cutting the smaller stuff. Now, I've made this, well, sawhorse, wood, jig, whatever you want to call it, just to run the sticks along. I've got a little marker here so I know that I'm cutting them all roughly the same length, and they fall straight into the wheelbarrow, so I don't have to bend down, pick them up off the floor. I can just take them away and stack them. Now, you may not have a setup like this. Who has? Well, I do, but I'm obsessive. So I'll show you a couple of other ways you can achieve roughly the same thing. Whether you're using a circular saw, whatever you're using, there are ways to do this to make the job a lot easier. Now, you can just hold the stick in your hand and cut them. I find it a lot easier if I've got a surface. I've set up a couple of sawhorses here with a plank all across the top. Now it can be anything for any flat surface that you can lean on. Still using my circular saw, I can basically just clamp it down with one hand and cut through it with the other. That works perfectly well. Again, it's falling into the wheelbarrow, but it can get even easier than that. You can see here I've now added a clamp to the wood. Now this gives me something to push the wood against as well as down. So I bring it in and I can push it against that piece of wood. It's not going any further. And it makes it easier for me to control as I'm cutting. But we can go a step further to improve upon the clamp. I can fit a piece of wood across with a couple of screws. And it gives me a nice, secure, solid block or stop that I can push against, and it's definitely not moving. And of course, you don't have to use a circular saw. You can use a battery chainsaw, a reciprocating saw, whatever you've got. It just makes the job a bit easier. Now I've got one of these battery operated chainsaws. Hold it in place. Now, you can see why I stopped using this. The battery doesn't last very long, but it will do the job. Just a lot slower. I can also use a reciprocating saw, although for that I find it best to have the wood on the far side so I can hold it closer like that. But again, it also does the job. So there you have it. Is it easier with a purpose-made jig? Well, yes. Is it easier with a circular saw than a chainsaw or reciprocating saw? Yes. but you have to find your own way of doing it. This is just the way I've found. Now, I'm sure there are ways to improve on this, which I will find in years to come. But for now, this is how I'm dealing with the smaller sticks to go with the bigger sticks.
Apart from wood processing, we've also had quite a busy week.
Yes, with lots of toing and froing.
Lots of running around.
Yes, I had a few errands to run on Wednesday. So I thought, while I'm running around, Lynn was going up to a local shop to get some shopping, bread, veg, that sort of thing. I said, I'll drop you off on the way. We got out the front to find I had a puncture. Now, I do have a spare, but that also has a puncture, which I did take in to get repaired, and they told me it's the actual damage to the rim, so I've got to find some of the repairs at. But the puncture that I had, I could pump the tyre up and it stayed up.
Yeah, we checked it several times on the way.
I checked it when I dropped Lynn in the village, I checked it halfway to Targowisty, I checked it when I got to the petrol station. It was all still up, and I went along to get it fixed, and 20 minutes later, and 16 leather worse off, I had my car back without a puncture. So
And the wheels rebalanced.
yes, the rear one. So that was a little traumatic, but sorted in no time at all. Excellent work.
And then off to get your pre-leg done.
Yes,
Preg-leg.
Preg-leg. Yes, on Thursday we've got the Preg-leg done. And while I was there, they also sorted out my insurance, and they would have also sorted out my vignette had I not run out of actual cash. They don't take cards there. But I'm now insured for another year, Preg-legged for another year, and tomorrow I'll be vignetted for another year. So, all good stuff.
And that's gone up quite a bit since last year, hasn't it?
It was 70 leather for the Preg-leg.
I think last year was about 45.
Yes.
So that's quite a steep increase.
So prices are going up on things like that. Quite a lot of official stuff has gone up this year, but it's to be expected, I guess.
True. As we knew we had cold weather coming, we thought we'd do another one of our little housekeeping jobs this week, which was cleaning our pechka pipes.
Yes, obviously they fur up or soot up over the course of the winter. If you want your pechka to work properly, keep them clean. So this is what we did.
Every couple of days I have to come down and restock my wood for the house. So I bring my wheelbarrow, come to my wood store and load up. This time of year, we're obviously using the pechka every day. We have been since November, which results in a certain amount of mess. Now, obviously, every day it gets hoovered out, the ash gets taken away, but we have a build-up of soot across the top inside the pechka and up in these pipes. So my job today, halfway through the winter, is to take the pechka pipe chimney off, down to the barn, clean it out and bring it back. I'll show you how much soot we get out of it, which shows you why it's quite an important job to do. So I've stripped down the chimney and broken it into sections. I've got 3 long pipes in 2 corners. I've got my cleaning brush, which is a wire brush, which is long enough to go all the way through when I'm cleaning the longer sections. And I'm going to clean it into this box, which is just an empty box that had dog food in it. But that will collect all the soot, and then at the end you can see exactly how much soot was produced in cleaning these pipes. So this here is the box of soot, and you can see it's almost completely full, and that came out of just 5 pieces of pipe, and this is the build up that's taken place over 2.5 months. So that's why I wanted to clean them before we get onto the really cold spell that's coming, when we'll be burning more wood, because obviously the less blockages there are in the pipe, or the less constriction from soot, the better the airflow will be, which means my pechka will burn better, hotter, and work as it's supposed to. So I've taken the plates off the top of the pechka. Now in here at the bottom, this is the firebox. That's last night's ash from where we were burning. But this is the carryover of the ash for when the smoke and ash are going up the chimney. And you can see it's quite deep. That's just a build up, but it's all dry. There's no creosote or anything like that in it. We just need to hoover it, get it clean, and then we can put everything back together again. So that's the pechka put back together. We've got it lit. It's burning very well. Obviously we've got dry sticks in there, but that's exactly the result we wanted. So that's the job done. Doesn't need doing now for the rest of winter.
So while you can probably get away without doing that job, it's probably best if you do. Cleaning your chimney every year, cleaning your pipes a couple of times over the winter, it'll just make things work better and reduce the risk of possibly getting a chimney fire.
Yeah.
So it's quite important, really.
I mean, it wasn't really that much considering
No.
we haven't done it since the
No,
beginning of
if you're
the
using
season.
seasoned wood, you shouldn't have chimney problems. And finally, this afternoon, I go out with my guitar and play music with a fellow guitarist. In all my attempts to get better at guitar, which in fairness I'm not very good at, I've found somebody who's a lot better than me, and they're giving me some pointers and tips along the way, so thank you, Andy. I really do need it. So that's my afternoon sorted while Lynn does stuff in the house.
Yeah.
Don't know what you
Sorting
do.
cupboards.
More cupboards sorted.
More cupboards, there's always more
I can
cupboards
never
to sort.
find anything when she does that.
It's so calm.
I think that's why she does it.
You can't find anything anyway.
I can.
The difference is when I've sorted everything out, I can find it when you can't.
Well, we'll see what it's like when I get back. But I think you're up to date with us for this week.
Yep, that's it for us.
It is. So until next week, time for us to say,
Stay safe.
be well.
Do skoro.
Do skoro.